Ultron? Girl, I was talking about my cousin Ultron from Newark. Wanda, what's that red stuff in your hand? Ah! Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super not funny show reviews. I am Jen Thépuppét, your resident Fabrican and commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture. Today I'm reviewing the 4th episode of WandaVision, titled We Interrupt This Program, streaming on Disney+. Was it good? Was it bad? Should you be watching? Stay tuned because I have opinions about things. Just FYI, I'll be doing my spoiler-free thoughts first, then we'll do some spoilers and some speculation. There will be spoilers for the previous episodes, so please go watch them before you listen to this. Ready to go? Let's get it. Well, people, you asked for shit to happen, and damn does it ever. And we interrupt this program. It feels like the writers and showrunner knew that they teased us long enough and an info dump was in order to keep from turning more people away. The show has been somewhat divisive due to its very unique take on the material and audience expectations. But I think that's going to turn around after this, because it's the first truly MCU-feeling episode of the show. All of the things you expect from the MCU's flavor of storytelling are on display. Fantastical set pieces, government apparatus with on-the-nose acronyms, and a lot of soldiers and equipment. Quippy humor, pseudo-scientific jargon, and superpowers. Pew, pew, pew. Feels like a favorite old sweater. Comfortable, familiar, a little bit worn, but definitely welcome. That opening scene, though, I talk about throwing red meat to the voters. I loved the on-the-ground viewpoint, the frantic pacing, and even the sad revelation in that first scene. It's not only sets the tone for the episode, it also tells us when this is all happening, which is a few weeks after Tony's funeral. From there, we get a pretty standard MCU setup, especially if you've seen Thor or Captain America. Monica Rambeau is a solid character to front the episode, grounding it with her clear competence and a pedigree that explains, in a couple of sentences, the very existence of S.W.O.R.D., which we'd never really seen before this episode. Once she arrives on the scene in Westview and the central mystery is stated, the show takes us, quote, behind the scenes, behind the scenes of the show that we've been watching for the past 3 episodes. And surprise, S.W.O.R.D. doesn't know shit either. I did love the return of 2 bit players in the MCU, Darcy from Thor and James Woo from the Ant-Man movies. And they get plenty of screen time and are pitch perfect in their performances. They basically serve as us, the viewers, to the point of literally watching the show on old CRT TVs and speculating as to the nature of Westview. We see some of the weirdness of the previous episodes from an outside perspective, and what it suggests is decidedly not good. Monica's return from inside Westview and what she learns is a huge warning about the true nature of the threat, and a genuinely original, to the MCU, revelation that reveals why this show has been so tense and on edge. Look, I get it. Some of you were turned off or disappointed in the previous episodes. They weren't what you were expecting and didn't really tell you what you should expect. This episode rewards your patience and adds depth to the previous episodes for future rewatching. It was very satisfying to me, very thought-provoking, and just a damn fun episode of TV that stands up as one of the best entries in the MCU. Jen and I literally paused and rewound the show at least 7 times just to ruminate on and speculate on and marvel at what was being presented. And if the rest of you are like us, that makes this episode a huge win overall for the show. I highly recommend this episode, And if it's any indication of the rest of the show, we are in for a wild ride to the finish. So that's my spoiler-free review of WandaVision Episode 4. We interrupt this program. And if you want to avoid spoilers, you can just stop the video right now. Before you do, though, if you like this review, why not hit that like button? While you're at it, hit the subscribe button so you can follow the show and the notification bell so you'll know when we drop new videos. Leave a comment down below, email us at supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or you can hit me up on Twitter at supernotfunnys1. Thanks for watching, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags. All right, are they gone? Yeah, okay. All right, stop. Spoiler time. Yes, let's get into it, boys and girls. And anybody in between. Let's go. That cold open was fucking epic. The unsnapping was something that I've been thinking about for a couple years now. And it was just awesome to see how regular people reacted to being in such a crazy situation. I think it was a microcosm, not just all of Earth, all of the people on Earth and how they would react, but probably all of the universe. The undusting was a really good effect, really good CG effect. And the whole sequence was just unnerving and tense and disorienting, like any zombie apocalypse or pandemic movie. Learning Maria had died of cancer, that actually hit me harder than I might have imagined. And I actually didn't imagine that Maria was dead. So that she was dead, that was, it was a gut punch. As a big fan of Captain Marvel, and especially a big fan of her character in Captain Marvel, because she was really awesome in that movie. So it was sad to see Monica having to learn about it that way. But it was also cool to learn that she started S.W.O.R.D. Speaking of, when S.W.O.R.D. was founded, what the hell was it doing while the Avengers were blowing up and doing their thing? Like, we saw S.H.I.E.L.D. What the fuck was S.W.O.R.D.? They're obviously a big deal now, and they have a lot of resources like S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. But because they reacted to the Westview thing overnight. But where were they? And for that matter, what the hell? Why did these organizations keep having these complementary acronyms? S.W.O.R.D., then S.H.I.E.L.D., and then, of course, in the MCU, there's armor. I mean, come on. Get it? Let's be better than that, yo. I will say this. The writers, they really thought of everything. I'd wondered, if the drones aren't coming back, why don't you just put them on a string? And then, of course, they showed the cable connected to the beekeeper being a jump rope when they hauled it back through. So this kind of suggests that Wanda's unconscious mind is sanitizing everything that enters that little bubble of reality that she's got going on. In the realm of pseudoscientific jargon, whatever, all of the pseudoscientific stuff they use to explain away the things that happen in the MCU, that whole CMBR, the cosmic microwave background radiation reference, it's like a deep cut if you've been paying attention to stuff. But it's consistent with what we know about the Infinity Stones, because they were created at the Big Bang and contain some portion of the power of the Big Bang, which is how they do stuff. And we know they emit radiation from Infinity War. So it follows that the wavelength of radiation coming from the Infinity Stones would match the CMBR. And since Wanda channels energy from the Infinity Stone, that will be the source of the CMBR that Darcy was detecting. This also confirms what was said outside of continuity by the Russos, that the stones weren't destroyed, because otherwise, how would Wanda have any power to do anything? We see Wanda in control, really in control, and the way she ejected Monica probably means a villainous turn for her. She's obviously desperately trying to protect and maintain and control this little alternate world she's constructed to avoid actual reality. And I suspect that that will lead to more and more drastic measures as she's forced to confront reality. Speaking of, holy dead vision, Batman. Gee, what? That was one of the most shocking things. It was like legitimately shocking and horrifying to see the corpse of, I'm assuming, is the corpse of Vision walking around? We don't know for sure. Is she reanimating his corpse? Is he a construct? Is that just her mind playing tricks with her because she knows he's dead? Yeah, we have no idea. And finding out could be horrifying. Probably so. So, man, ugh. And as for Vision, we know he's catching on, right? If he's not, if he is conjured, is that her mind trying to wake her up? That Vision is starting to wake up and is uncertain, or is it really him? This is a big mystery. We're sure we're going to get the answers, but still, it's a hell of a mystery. All right, that is all for the spoilers. Man, this was a huge episode, and I can see by online reactions that we're going to be talking about this a lot this week, and just hotly anticipating the next episode. Friday can't come fast enough. So, what do y'all think about my review? Go ahead and drop a comment down below, or you can as well email me at supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter at supernotfunnys1. Thanks for watching, and you can join me next time on the Super Not Funny Show reviews. I'm Jen Thépuppét, and I'll catch all you Fabricans and Fleshbags on the other side of the thread. Peace.